Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is coopzilla with another StarCraft 2 broadcast. I'm going to be casting for you a wonderful game today. It is a 1v1, a pro game, and it is versus Spanishiwa and YoungjunG. Do you love this map, says YoungjunG? Well, the map is called Typhon Peaks. It is a lots of resources map. Each player can very easily secure 1, 2, 3 bases, and it is kind of big. And so let's see what they do. Spanishiwa is one of my favorite Zerg players, next to Idra, or Idra if you like to call him that. I think it's Idra, maybe. Kind of depends. Anyways, I think Spanishiwa is awesome because he's very similar in creativity. Something like you'd see in a TLO, except TLO focuses mostly on Terran. I think. He used to play random, but I think mostly he plays Terran now. Spanishiwa is actually part of the clan Vile, which you may know is part of StarCraft's clan. And so he is getting quite a bit of notoriety lately. He is 35 in the Grandmasters, 35 rank, so probably the best around town anyways. But Spanishiwa is known for going a heavy economic build, usually expands around the 16 hatchery, 15 hatch, and knocks his probe out of the way, going to throw down the hatchery right there. And usually he'll follow it up with a pool. Almost directly after that, see his minerals creeping up right about there. 200 minerals, throws down the pool. And YoungjunG sees this and is scouting it out. He knows everything that's going on, and he's probably familiar with Spanishiwa's style of play. And so we'll see what YoungjunG follows this up with. Looks like he has his gateway and one extractor on gas. Assimilator, excuse me. And we have the cybernetics core being put down right around the 21 mark. So you can see that Spanishiwa is saturating just like crazy already. Less than 4 minutes into the game, and this is almost completely saturated. It's usually a pretty good sign if it's completely saturated if there's all 3 rows. That'd be 24, 3 per mineral patch, which is 8 mineral patches times 3 equals 24. 24 divided by 3 is 8, if you know your math, people. Anyways, I feel I'm having a strange casting day. I don't feel in my normal mood. But it looks like Spanishiwa is going to be putting down a couple spine crawlers for some static defense, just in case the Protoss decides to put on any early force. The warp gates are being chrono boosted out, as well as a sentry, which is good for force fields, and this drone won't live very much longer unless he skedaddles out of there. This pylon is good for any hidden play or overlords or Nidus networks or anything like that. It usually doesn't come into play, but sometimes it does. Looks like the third gateway is being put down by YoungjunG. So we might be seeing a 4-gate or a fast expand, and it looks like 4 gates. It's going to be hidden over here behind the weeds. I don't think Spanishiwa sees it. Let's see, how do I take that off? No, not the camera. Well, this is Spanishiwa's camera, so this is what he looks like. He actually has remarkably low APM. It's only around like 120, whereas most pro players are just absolutely crazy. But it looks like he does not see. I can finally get a control of that. Oh, there we go. So Spanishiwa does not know the 4 gates are coming. The first 2 gateways are being warped into the warp gates, as well as this initial one. And as soon as this one does, it will be 2. And it looks like Spanishiwa doesn't quite know what is going on. There is a unit here. Oh, there it is. A little Zergling hanging out back there. And a Nexus being... Oh, yes. This might be a faint Nexus. I've seen and heard of this before, where a Protoss will throw down a Nexus to kind of fake the Zerg player into thinking that there is a Nexus going down when actually there's not, and the Protoss player cancels it. We'll see if this follows all the way. So keep your eye on the status bar up here. As for Spanishiwa, he has quite a few spine crawlers just walling off his base, and as with Spanishiwa, the 3 queens out in front and the 1 queen in back. You know, I've actually been doing this build, and it is just rocking the socks out of every player I come up against. It's just a hard build to go against. The queens and the spine crawlers provide all the defense you need. The queens will do anything against air, and the spine crawlers will do anything against ground. And then as long as you utilize the transfusion of all those queens, you're just rocking everyone's world. And so there it is. There it cancels. I'm glad we got to see that. So Spanishiwa thinks that the Protoss player is going for a fast expansion, and yet how does he know? What? 16 Ling is coming on the way. You'd think it would be drones, but maybe Spanishiwa caught a glimpse of it, or maybe he knows that this is happening. And so Spanishiwa is going to be completely prepared for this. 26 Lings on the way. This is what you get when you have 3 queens and just massive, massive economy. He's able to just reproduce so fast. 20 more Lings on the way. Some really good force fields blocking these Lings from getting through. The queen's through. This queen will go down, as well as maybe a few spine crawlers. YoungjunG, oh, blocks off the ramp. Oh my gosh, the Lings can't even do anything. This base is completely cut off from the world, and these spine crawlers are microing out, killing the Lings. This spine crawler will be going down very quickly. Just one shot, well, not one shot, but it pretty much a one shot after it was damaged quite a bit. And so some good micro. The Lings are on the creep with the speed boost, and so it is very hard to micro against speedy Lings like that. They just fly. They have little wings or whatever those are. So the Lings are looking for the surround, which they did get. The queens are looking to clean this up. This is just how Spanishiwa can defend even against a 4-gate. Just the Lings and the queens. Lings and the queens. Wiping it up. But it looks like YoungjunG has enough units to pull ahead. The spine crawlers are being warped in, grown in, morphed in, and the Lings cannot hold it off. 14 more Lings on the way. They're just being filed out, but these zealots will just tear those Lings up as they do so much damage towards Lings and drones. And a good surround. It looks like these drones are just doing the surround to keep them in their place. The zealots, I mean. And Spanishiwa looks like he held off that attack quite well. 14 more Lings. A burrow is being researched, as well as pathogen glands for his infestation pit. And YoungjunG just wants to keep on putting the pressure on. He wants to maybe do some economic damage, get some of these drone counts down. Even though there's so many drone counts, I don't know if it's even worth it. The drones have been pulled off, being used as attacking units, as Spanishiwa doesn't have that many attacking units, just Lings on the board right now. 4 infestors are on the way, nothing on the way for the Protoss. The Protoss is retreating with his tail between his legs. Spanishiwa comes ahead as always. Some people have been saying that the Spanishiwa games are getting a little bit boring because he always wins. Maybe he just uploads the games where he always wins. I'm sure we'll find some games where Spanishiwa doesn't. But now the Protoss player is pretty much out of luck. He doesn't have nearly close to the economy that Spanishiwa does. 12 harvesters ahead, and look at the income. Just double of what the Protoss player is getting right now. And so the Protoss player is kind of crapping his pants right now. Is waiting for the final death blow. The Spanishiwa is scouting out and making sure nothing crazy is going to be followed up by this, like a Dark Templar or anything. But it doesn't look like the Protoss has any of that in mind. He does have a robotics facility going down, and this Overseer will be safe for now, as the choke would be hard to get things past it, but the Stalker will make this Overseer explode into tiny bits. It looks like the Infestors are coming. Good fungal growth on those players, those units, and the Lings will come up and finish them off. And this many Lings versus this many units make quick work of it. The Lings run by into the mineral line. The probes know what's going on. Maybe that was the transfer of the probes, but they will. Lings will be able to be taken out by them and this one Zealot. But Spanishiwa is just so many units. These Infestors, I do like his Infestor play, as it's usually very creative. The fungal growths on the probes just destroy them so much. You can see 17 workers killed, and for most of the game, the Protoss was doing the harass, but since Spanishiwa was able to hold it off, the Protoss player really has nothing, only 11 probes left, and it looks like YoungjunG, I didn't even see a GG, but maybe that was just a glitch in the Battle.net replays. But this has been a Spanishiwa cast, a coopzilla casting it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like it. Please subscribe, and this has been coopzilla signing out.